Big story developing here. The Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States has asked ByteDance, the Chinese parent of video app TikTok, to sell TikTok or face a potential ban.
The question is, for all of you, just go down simply, should we ban TikTok or force a sale to an American company?
Well, I've expressed my concerns. I'm not sure how else the problem could be solved, but I've expressed my concerns.
The U.S. concerns right now is surrounding data. They're concerned that user data, American data from TikTok could be sent and get into the hands of the Chinese government.
Is that a yes?
Again, I don't speak to bans. That's not ultimately that's a policy decision.
TikTok said that selling wouldn't really mitigate this kind of national security risk. A spokesperson said if protecting national security is the objective, divestment doesn't solve the problem.
I know that I think we all are expressing our assessments of the intelligence, the risks, the threats in the CFIUS process.
They said any change of ownership would not impose any new restrictions on data flows or access. So TikTok very much, of course, against this move. It's not the first time TikTok's been threatened with a ban, but it is the first time under the current Biden administration. Previously, the administration of Donald Trump threatened something similar in 2020, but that was ultimately blocked by the courts in the U.S.
So look, I'm going to make my feelings known, but first this. A GOP firm hired by a rival to TikTok orchestrated a nationwide campaign to turn the public against the #1 social media company. Emails obtained by the Post show targeted victory drove fear and anger around TikTok. An email from February described the firm's goal to get the message out that while this company is the punching bag currently, TikTok is the real threat. It's foreign owned. It's the #1 in sharing data that young teens are using. Another director is said to have floated the idea of using a local political reporter as a back channel for spreading opposition to TikTok in a different email. That person, the one thing we have in this game is integrity. That person has no integrity. It would just make it much harder to do so. And even if that ban, doesn't happen, there's increasing pressure on Apple and Google to impose their own bans and boot TikTok from their stores, with one senator now asking them to do so. By the way, this is what we're going to get into here. It's lobbying. This is the power of enabling corruption. More in a moment. Via open secrets, because we are fair here, ByteDance has spent tons in lobbying as well, because obviously they want this stuff to remain available, especially for American consumption. Now, let me say this. At a time when fascism is on the rise, at a time when we are learning via ProPublica how little billionaires pay in taxes and how they really don't give a damn about anybody, and how we live in this evil capitalist society that is saying no matter what, make money and crap on everybody else, bootstraps sort of stuff, the rolling back of public education. Look at what's happening in Houston, Texas right now, where the party of small government basically said, we should control public education. There's more. Financial inequality. Remember the student loan forgiveness that a lot of people were promised? That's completely out the window by Democrats. Practically nothing being done to combat climate change. Nothing being done about the fossil fuel industry. Nothing. The Alaska Willow Project. The cost of living. The lack of free health care. And yet, I must ponder, TikTok is the priority. Not any of those things. Not East Palestine, Ohio. Not animals dying from the chemicals. Not a governor, according to locals, shutting off his phone so they'll go back. Being told they can go back. It's safe to go back. Our infrastructure just decaying. The railroads that are essentially from the Civil War era. But this is the priority is bailing out the banks and TikTok. Are you kidding? Look at how quickly this stuff is proposed and then put forth to potentially get signed onto with tons of support. Tons. Do you want to know what it is? The younger generations, my age demographic, and younger than me, we are learning too much. We are learning too much information in real time, and legacy media is being fizzled out because we don't buy their stuff anymore. The CNNs, the MSNBCs, the ABCs, the Fox News, we see through it. There are 6 companies, 6, that own corporate legacy media. 6. And if we're talking about, oh, well, we can't have foreigners ruling our media. Rupert Murdoch is Australian. And he controls Fox News. And meanwhile, there have been other social media companies that have seen an uptick in extremists utilizing their platforms to organize. And those same companies lobby, bribe, get legislation passed to push TikTok out. Why? Because they cannot control the app. Personally, have I learned about recipes on TikTok? Of course. Have I seen some incredible trick shots with golf? Absolutely. But you know what I've learned? I've learned a lot of stuff that we weren't even taught in middle school, high school, college. World history, U.S. history, stuff that they could not filter out. That's what this is about. We have seen this happen before through American history, where people come together and they organize and they realize the problem that is going on, and they build community through that. And the powers that be do not like that. So they are utilizing their ultimate muscle, which is wealth, to potentially pass legislation to ban TikTok. I completely disagree with this move. And it is fairly obvious to see why this is happening. Do I think this will pass? I honestly have no idea. But considering how quickly they are moving in favor of doing this, hard to see how it isn't. Yeah. Voting rights. Doesn't matter. Protecting a woman's right to life. No, it doesn't matter. Saying you are pro-life and not combating climate change. Doesn't matter. TikTok ban. Approved. Bailing out billionaires with their banks. Approved. If you guys are not paying attention to this, I don't know what to tell you. This is utter BS. Pay attention, man.